I grew up in a very strict or strong Christian family, missionary parents. And so the Bible is always part of our family life. Sunday afternoons was reading the Bible and learning stories. And so it's always been part of that. And I've just carried that through into adulthood. And it's just a great source of strength, but also advice and comfort.
And are there particular bits, characters, passages that mean something for you?
Well, I really love the Old Testament. I just think it's the mixture of stories, personalities, heroes, but also how right through it God is. We clearly see his character, we see his commitment to mankind, right through to bringing Jesus into the earth. It's just, I love that, how we got it wrong, and yet he stitches and knits it all together to actually put it right again for those of us that respond. So I think that's a fantastic journey that we can see in the Bible.
Do you think it's important that the Bible is seen, heard, present in Westminster today?
I think it is seen, heard and present, but not necessarily by people quoting scriptures or picking up the Bible and reading bits out. But a lot of what we do, legislation is kind of based in Old Testament or in biblical kind of background. But also there's many of us here that just believe that the Bible provides us with good guidance, good moral base, good wisdom that we can apply in the way we approach politics. So I think it's actually about a framework that we work within that actually is impacting all aspects of Parliament in order to give people better and fuller lives.
Sometimes there's a bit of a reticence, isn't there, for people to speak up about their faith, not just in politics, but in the society at large. Do you ever feel pressure?
No. Coming from my background, it's kind of been part of our lives all the time. I've worked within the church and within Christian organisations for many, many years, and actually in my constituency, so I naturally progressed into politics. So people know where I came from and what my values are. And actually, my Christian faith has been a subject of discussion quite often since I've been elected, because people aren't sure how am I going to come up here and talk about God on behalf of my constituents, or am I just going to use it as a set of values. So actually, at the moment, I don't think there's any particular concern. I think people are comfortable with where I am and what I believe in. But I think it is about us using the Bible to develop ourselves as people. So it's my relationship with God and what the Bible teaches me as a person. And then how do I go about my life? So I don't necessarily look for specific verses that will support a piece of legislation or otherwise, but I just have a genuine confidence about what I think is the right thing to do when approaching a piece of legislation.
The Bible's pretty radical, isn't it? I mean, as you look at it, you're talking about the stories in the Old Testament. There's some pretty radical stuff. It's quite political in a way in itself, isn't it?
It is, and I think that's good. I mean, I think how politics, if that's the right word to use, is played out in the Bible is incredible. I mean, Jesus upset how things were seen as standard and what people should do. He upset people that you would expect him to support in terms of the religious order. And I don't see why politicians today shouldn't do that. And I'd love to be able to do that, but in a way where I know I have a moral basis in which I place the way I approach that kind of challenge.